We're almost there. We're almost there. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, yes. 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 We have arrived. And this. Let me just catch my breath. That felt good. But now, after a bit of a sprint from Akihabara, we are now in close neighbors Odyssey. There is another town named Odyssey, and that's the successor of this town. It's also run by the same person, PMglory. And this town is the one he left behind. And although it's abandoned, it must be noted for its excellent buildings. I mean, I really go here and admire what they build. Odyssey is really well known as a town for events, and it shows the stuff that they have here. So let's start with the spawn. This is the Odyssey town spawn. It has the rules, and it has one thing I like about their spawn. It has project boards and suggestions boards. So town assistants, I presume, can post on the suggestions boards what they want to build in the town, and that will allow the mayor to see it and share their ideas with each other. This appears to be PMglory statue. PMglory, by the way, if you haven't heard, is the mayor of Odyssey. Just reminding. And this appears to be Odyssey's event area. So let's have a run through this. This is the Odyssey swimming pool. It was designed by Puff Daddy J, and actually visited this a long time ago when it was still being constructed, and the thought of having such a nice facility for swimming events pleased me. You can go up a dive board using the ladder, jump, and then swim. Alright, so that pretty much is the Odyssey swimming tube. I'll just call it the swimming tube. So it has a nice Olympic name to it. This over here is Odyssey's, what's this? Odyssey's obstacle course. This obstacle course was one of the few stuff that was carried over from Odyssey's predecessor, which is Batangas. Batangas was founded by DBK JR043, and it basically was a town in this area before DBK relinquished mod duties, handed it to PMglory, and PMglory made a new town called Odyssey in this area. And one of the few things left over was this obstacle course. Now, I don't have fond memories of this obstacle course. I remember myself really epic failing trying to get through this because I'm not really that much of a parkour guy or a race guy. This appears to be a vertical marathon track, wherein people go up, they climb this long ladder to the heavens, and the first one to the top wins. This is Odyssey's Spleefing Arena, and I must admire it because it looks like a proper stadium, and I'm sure it's one of the biggest spleefing arenas in the server. And it's a snow platform designed by PMglory, I think. This over here is Odyssey's quiz machine, or rather quiz show event area. So basically players start from the bottom, and the game master gives a question. Now every time the player gets the question right, and he has to be the first one to get it right, he goes up one step, and the first person to reach the crown wins. Here, this appears to be Odyssey's basketball court. Yeah, there's the basketball court. Looks like a proper Filipino one, or a high school gymnasium. And that was Odyssey's event area. So Odyssey was really a town hosting lots of events, as you can probably know. And this, oh wow, this is PMglory's roller coaster, and it's probably the biggest roller coaster in the server. This is PMglory's, or rather Odyssey's lava coliseum, and I would just assume that it's a parkour related thing. I'm not sure if it's parkour or a knock people off thing, and last man standing, but it was sure used for some epic contest. This seems to be another stadium that was never completed. This appears to be Odyssey's big mushroom farm. And this, it took a while for me to get this, but this over here is Odyssey's cemetery. And Akihabara Cemetery used crosses. This one is more natural. It's just a tombstone marker. So let's see some random causes of death here. Nakatulog sa stove. Uh, put your cause of letter. So yeah, this is the cemetery of Odyssey. Potato cake, namatay sa gutom. Killed by mobs. Nasabugan ng creeper. What else? Nalunod sa kiddie pool. And this is Odyssey's Central Avenue. Now the Central Avenue here, one thing I like about it, it's wide. It inspired me on a lot of things. Where it's a wide street with the signs in the middle. And as you can see, a lot of Odyssey's epic pixel arts are lined up here. Anyway, so these are Odyssey's pixel arts. Odyssey is a town well known for pixel arts. And as you can see, there have lots of, it fills up the space with lots of color. And that's one thing I like about this town. Let's see. More stuff. Charmander. Okay. And this over here is LRT's railway. This railway segment leads to Kiria, and the other segment leads to Akihabara. The Akihabara Odyssey rail is actually the very first LRT rail implemented in this server. And the story there is that PMglory decided to build the LRT to Akihabara to do some diplomatic things with us. And when I saw it, I thought about helping him out. And eventually, I decided to make an entire railway system connecting 5 towns. But I must credit PMglory for even starting it, because he was the pioneer of this project. So let us look at Odyssey. This is the city part of Odyssey, where all the houses are. This more pixel art, as you can see. More houses. Really can't find PM's house here. I wonder where it is. And this appears to be Odyssey's unfinished hotel. I really can't guess what this building is. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a big structure right here. And I would just assume that something this big would be for a hotel. Okay, finally I got my flying back. Okay. So that is Odyssey's hotel. And now that we're in the air, probably you could take a look at the pixel arts more. Appreciate the general view of the town in the snow. This is Odyssey's XP farm. And this is Odyssey's farm tower, like most towns have. So most towns in PinoyCraft will probably have those features, a farm tower and an XP farm. And this, let us just finish up here. This is Odyssey's trademark, or rather, this is their main attraction, their gate. And sorry if it's snowy, but there's their gate. This is something good something good for someone in survival mode, and I have to give them credit for that. Build that archway there, if you can see it. And that is Odyssey. And this road leads to Akihabara, basically. Speaking of which, one last fact before I go. Odyssey and Akihabara are like neighbors. As you can see, they're very close if you look at them in the map. And at one point, when we had the republics, Odyssey and Akihabara were once united as a republic, with PMglory as the king and Spiky Meteorite, the mayor of Akihabara, as the queen. And that was pretty interesting. It lasted only one day, but well, the Akihabarans really didn't like the idea of having Odyssey have rule over their possessions. But yeah. So anyway, this is Odyssey for you. PMglory's old town. He made a new Odyssey after his town was accidentally deleted from the files, but old Odyssey is still a very welcome site in PinoyCraft. It's very nice, and you should all visit it. So thanks for watching. I hope you visit Odyssey, and please stay tuned for more of my videos. Take care.